Well, I said I wasn't going to put another tape in, and I guess I didn't really lie. But man, I'm telling you what, I really have wanted to keep this video series I've been doing every week down to one tape, and it's about a 41-minute tape. But you know, this is the way it goes. Sometimes when you feel like you got something to say, man, you got to say it. And I'm just being a good American. I just want to be a good brother. I want to be a friend to humanity. I want to be worthy to go to a better world. I want to help to understand. I want people to understand the most important stuff in life, the stuff that we should give the highest value to, and the stuff that is medium value, and then the stuff that really is of no value. I want us to have our values in line with the values that come from above, with the values that God would have us value, so that we're synced up. You know, we're on the same page. We're actually seeing through divine eyes if we could do that. So I really feel like I've got something to say, and as long as I feel like I got something to say, I'm going to be doing these videos and trying to get through to people and just try to inform and educate people correctly. And I don't mean to get on anybody's case, and I'm dropping names of Alex Jones's reporters on InfoWars. Look, I love all these people, and I admire their courage to no end, okay? And I'd be willing to go on the show, okay? I don't give a crap. At this point, it's just so important that everybody starts understanding what we're after, okay? Because you can't get something unless you first have a clear idea of what you want to get. What are you after as a society, as a community, as a state, as a country, as a civilization? Okay, in order to get those things, you first have to have a very clear idea of what you're looking for. And that's really what I want people to do. I want to have a clear idea. What do you really want? What do you expect from your fellow man? What are you willing to give in return to your fellow man? Are you willing to serve of your own free will and accord because God made you with a conscience? He didn't make you to be a self-serving, decadent, lazy slob, pissant. Okay? Right, that's it. That's what I'm trying to convince people, is to believe that the system cannot break down, will not break down if everybody is prosperous. It won't. It won't. And it proved me wrong. You say, oh, yeah, who's going to do the work if that was happening? Listen, prove me wrong. At least let's test the waters. Let's push the envelope. But are we going that direction? No, we've been going the other direction for at least, like I said, since the murder of JFK. They started out very slow at first because it would have been too obvious that what they were really doing, that this cabal, this New World Order bunch, and this gaggle of murderous, genocidal thugs was steering the ship into the rocks and just stealing the wealth of our nation right out from under our nose. They had to move very gingerly, very incrementally, very slowly to move that Overton window, like a frog in a pot of water. You warm it up slow so it doesn't jump out. Because if they tried to pull this crap that they have, okay, quickly, there would have been a counter coup, and we could have taken over. So that's what's going on here. That's what I'm trying to convince. We need a counter coup. We need Donald Trump. Dissent is the highest form of patriotism. Why did Thomas Jefferson say that? What do you think Jesus did? He dissented against the establishment. What do you think Trump is doing? What do you think I'm doing? I'm dissenting against the establishment. And the establishment is very satanically based. It's based in the money being the all in all. It controls every facet of our lives. Every waking moment we're thinking about either making money or spending money, right? That's it. That's our safety. That's our security. That's our freedom. Admit these things. It's a start. Confess these things. It's a start to overcoming them. Being honest with yourself and God and saying, God, I lay all my cards on the table. Okay? And I want your will to be established on earth. That's a Lord's Prayer. For real, man. And that means, God, you know what? Purge me of any vileness, any love of money, any belief that we cannot dispense entirely of this satanic entity that feeds Satan. It's like Satan's food. That's it. And without the food, he's going to starve to death. It's like Satan's testicles. And without his testicles, he's impotent. He's neutered. He's rendered irrelevant. Without any power, without any effect, impertinent. Okay? Do you understand why we've got to get away from money? Why it's dissent against the establishment? It's dissent against Satan. That's what it's about. So I admire all the dissenters. What do you think? Now the dissenters are being exalted, right? If you dissented, if you're one of those that marched against the war in Iraq, now you're one of the dissenters that should be exalted. Wow, you were right. Yeah, we shouldn't have gone in Iraq. They weren't they didn't cause 9/11. They didn't have any weapons of mass destruction. So, you understand? Dissenters are often proved right. And again, they're going to be proved right. If you're dissenting against the establishment, you're right. It doesn't matter if you're a lefty, if you're a conservative, liberal, whatever you want to call yourself. It doesn't matter. They're just words. And until we have a distinct definition and a meeting of the minds exact, because liberal is a good term. Okay, a good liberal is a good thing. A good conservative also is a good thing if you're fiscally prudent. Okay, that's what we're talking about here. And conservative, morally conservative, well, you understand what it's going to take. If you want to end abortion, if you want to end prostitution, if you want to end all the drug use and all these other forms of escapism and vices that people are into, if you want to lower crime dramatically, if you want to lower the national debt, if you want to stop dubious war, all these things are good. These are good liberal causes. These are good conservative causes. These are good humanity causes. These are good Jesus causes, good God causes, good biblical causes. Okay? So let's just be honest with each other. And let's define the terms. Let's not just throw out terms out there. And freedom, oh, we're so lucky in America, we have freedom. Yeah? What the hell is your wonderful freedom worth if you're homeless out on the street because you were made homeless? Because you can't cope anymore in the social Darwinian cutthroat, harder and harder, raising the bar, devour one another system. Why not drop out? Of course. I mean, it's sick, man. I'm on the side of the misfits, man. I'm on the side. Jesus said these things. He said, you must hate your life in this world. Why? Because Satan is the prince of this world. Because of the vast injustice that abounds in the world. This is why we should hate our lives in this world. It's disgusting. And I'm sorry, I don't want to offend anybody. I am literally on everybody's side. And I get that from Jesus. We all have that prerogative. We all have that right. Love your enemy. What is loving your enemy? If you genuinely love your enemy, you care about them too. And what's the message to your enemy? Just stop being evil. Repent or perish. Just be honest. It's not an intellect. You don't have to have great intellect to understand these things. You need honesty, though. You need to confess. You need to admit when you're wrong. Admit when your own heart is subject to the evils of this world, this love of money and the things that money will bring you. Admit it. Just be honest. That's all I'm trying to convey to people. Be honest. Be honest and you shall be saved. If you are in line with the teachings of Jesus and the things in the Bible, I mean, you're going to be saved. You're going to be worthy. You're going to be found worthy and deserving to inherit a better world. This new age to come, it's going to be a beautiful place. Eternal life even. Can you imagine even death itself being swallowed up in victory as it's written in the Bible? Death itself. You get a new body, an imperishable body. Nothing can threaten you any longer. No more fear. No more insecurity. Full freedom, full prosperity, full contentment, full joy, full bliss. Just living our lives as God's children, frolicking on God's green earth. Doing whatever we want, wherever we want, 100% of the time. That is a reality to come. And that's a reality I'm trying to convince everybody to live for. And it starts right here and now. And you get gladness of heart. You can say to yourself, wow, that guy is so frustrated. You hear him ranting and, excoriating all the evildoers and all this. I bet he doesn't sleep well at night. Well, quite the opposite is true. I sleep very well at night. Okay? Because I get it all off my chest. I say everything I've got to say. I'm working for God, man. I'm just a disciple of Christ. That's it. That's what we all are. At the end of the day, That is the most important calling, the most important thing we can give our lives to. That is a purpose-driven life, okay, is living for humanity. It does not get better than that. Just having a real friend, because you were a real friend. You found it, you were deserving of having real friends, and that's what I want. I want everybody to have the same thing. Great things. Everything you want, everything your little heart desires. Nothing to be withheld from you. Nobody has anything to fear. Nobody in their right mind, that is, when Jesus is ruling over the affairs of men, and that time is coming rapidly. So prepare yourself. Cultivate, the soil of your heart and your mind and your spirit, readying yourself for that time when good is in control of this world. And understand how profoundly, how dramatically different it's going to be at that time. Face it, collective human reality is all about money, but it shouldn't be. And our reality, quote, must change. Tis better to hate this so-called reality than to revel in it, like so many do that love their lives in this world because they succeeded, right? They learned how to contend. They're successful as defined in worldly terms by making a lot of money and finding financial security, while all around them are dying and not finding it. All those misfits that Jesus said, those are me, the least of men, those that don't fit in the establishment. That's the way I told you to be. And you think you're somebody? You call that success because you got a lot of money? Because you learned how to contend with the evildoers of this world? And you're sidled up to them? And if you think you're going to be found worthy to inherit a better world, when your values were so screwed up, when you were in utter Babylon, confusion, utter ignorance, was it because you lacked intellect, because God didn't give you enough wherewithal, He didn't give you enough of a brain? Or was it really honesty? That because real or perceived, you believed your interests were at stake, so you rationalized your thinking, your belief system, your philosophies to fit in with your worldly success, that it was okay to divorce yourself from others that weren't as strong as you, that didn't have whatever you have, your upbringing, your special wherewithal to contend with this evil, vile, monetary-based unreality. Just remember, nobody has to answer to me or any other man, but you will stand one-on-one before your owner, your creator, and answer for your belief system or lack thereof. We all know what it's like to surrender to temptation, but we don't all know what it's like to surrender to evil. Just because a particular attitude toward a problem is popular with a particular group doesn't mean it's effective in solving the problem. That's right, this ridicule and taunting and teasing and belittling other people. Okay? Just remember, those people have great power too. They have power over life and death. Anybody can pick up a weapon and create mass murder with that weapon. So if you think that's so funny and you're willing to push somebody over the edge, somebody that's very sensitive and tender and very fragile, and you think that's the answer just to make fun of people, remember, socialists and communists, when they really believe what they believe, are willing to go and fight and die for the cause. All through history, that's been the case. And even if they're fully deceived, you better find another way, an alternative way to reach those people, because this is serious. This is no laughing matter. Just remember that. Just remember that. You better get creative with how to reach people, because civil war is a very real possibility if something happens to Trump. And remember, there's going to be an awful lot of Trump supporters that are going to die in that civil war at the hands of people that believe they're the good guys. They're the blue collar worker guy. They're the socialist. They're the working class. You know, at least as it's perceived. They're the egalitarians, right? And they'll fight and die passionately for their beliefs. Just remember, it's serious. This is very serious stuff we're talking about here. Very serious. So use your imagination. Stop making fun. Even Paul Joseph Watson. I don't care who I'm talking to. I like the man. I like a lot of what he says. He's super smart, and I don't want to have a battle of wits with him. But as far as reaching people, I would try a new tact. If you're serious about reaching these libtards and all these people, and you know, if you want to castigate Islam so much, and look, there's a lot of good Muslims, and you're talking to well over 1 billion people.